Introduction: what if I told you that your most cherished memory, perhaps your first kiss, your wedding day, or that life-changing moment of triumph, might never have happened the way you remember it? Or stranger still, might not have happened at all. Welcome to the enigmatic realm of human memory, where nothing is quite as it seems. I'm Dr. Professor, and today we'll venture into the labyrinth of the mind to explore the most baffling, perplexing, and utterly captivating aspects of memory. Memory isn't merely a record of our past. It's the foundation of our identity, the architect of our reality. Yet, as we'll discover today, this cornerstone of consciousness harbors bizarre quirks and mysterious phenomena that challenge everything we think we know about ourselves. The ancient Greeks personified memory as Mnemosyne, a titaness who gave birth to the 9 muses of inspiration. Perhaps they sensed what modern neuroscience has confirmed, that memory is not a faithful scribe but a creative storyteller, weaving tales that blur the boundary between fact and fiction. As we journey through the strange landscape of memory today, prepare to question the very fabric of your remembered reality. The fallibility of memory. Let's begin with perhaps the most unsettling truth about memory: its profound fallibility. Your memories, despite feeling concrete and trustworthy, are astonishingly malleable constructions. In a landmark study that continues to haunt the halls of psychology, researchers demonstrated how easily false memories can be implanted. Participants were convinced they had been lost in a shopping mall as children, complete with emotional details and vivid imagery, despite this event never occurring. Their minds simply created the experience. This phenomenon extends beyond laboratory curiosities. Every time you recall a memory, you're not accessing an immutable record, you're reconstructing it anew, subtly altering it with each retrieval. Your memory isn't like reading from a book. It's more like rewriting the book slightly differently each time you remember it. This explains why eyewitness testimony, once considered the gold standard of evidence, has been revealed as shockingly unreliable. Studies have found that confident eyewitnesses can be wrong up to 30% of the time. The certainty you feel about your memories bears little relationship to their accuracy. Perhaps most disquieting is the misinformation effect, how easily our memories can be corrupted by subsequent information. Simply asking, "How fast was the car going when it smashed into the other vehicle?" versus "contacted the other vehicle" dramatically changes speed estimates and even creates memories of shattered glass that was never there. What memories do you hold dear that might have been subtly reshaped by the questions others have asked you about them? What crucial details have morphed over time, invisible to your conscious awareness? Bizarre memory phenomena. Now let's venture into even stranger territory: the bizarre phenomena that haunt the edges of normal memory function. Consider flashbulb memories, those vivid, seemingly photographic recollections of shocking events. Where were you on September 11, 2001? Many people recall these moments with extraordinary clarity: the weather, what they were wearing, who told them the news. Yet research reveals that these memories, despite their emotional power, are no more accurate than ordinary memories. The intensity creates an illusion of precision. At the opposite extreme lies hyperthymesia, superior autobiographical memory, a condition so rare that only about 60 cases have been documented worldwide. These individuals can recall the minutiae of nearly every day of their lives. Ask them what happened on a random Tuesday 20 years ago, and they can tell you the weather, the news headlines, and what they ate for breakfast. Is this a gift or a curse? Many with this ability describe it as overwhelming, unable to let go of painful memories that remain as fresh as yesterday. Forgetting, it seems, serves a purpose beyond mere cognitive efficiency. Then there's cryptomnesia, unconscious plagiarism, where forgotten information resurfaces but is mistakenly believed to be an original creation. George Harrison was successfully sued when his hit, My Sweet Lord, unconsciously reproduced the melody of He's So Fine by the Chiffons. His mind had stored the tune but lost the tag, identifying it as someone else's creation. Have you ever had a brilliant idea, only to discover you were unconsciously recycling something you'd encountered before? How much of what we consider original thought might be cryptomnesia? You've undoubtedly experienced the maddening tip-of-the-tongue phenomenon, that tantalizing feeling when knowledge hovers just beyond reach. You can almost taste the word, perhaps know its first letter or syllable count, yet it remains stubbornly elusive. This peculiar state reveals the complex, multi-layered nature of memory retrieval, a process normally hidden beneath conscious awareness. And consider the bizarreness effect, how unusual or absurd information is often more memorable than mundane details. If I told you a story about a woman eating a hamburger, you'd likely forget it. But if I described a woman eating a hamburger while riding an elephant through your living room, that image would likely persist in your memory for years. Memory and identity, these strange quirks of memory raise profound questions about identity. If memory is malleable, reconstructive, and often inaccurate, what does that mean for our sense of self? The philosopher John Locke proposed that personal identity consists entirely in the continuity of memory. We are, essentially, the stories we tell ourselves about who we've been. But if those stories are partly fictional, who are we really? This question becomes painfully concrete in cases of amnesia and dementia. When memories fade in Alzheimer's disease, does the essence of the person fade with them? Family members often describe watching their loved ones disappear before their eyes, even as their physical forms remain. Yet something persists. Emotional memories often outlast factual ones, and muscle memory can preserve skills long after conscious recollection has faded. Musicians with advanced dementia can still play complex pieces they can no longer name. On the other end of the spectrum are the memory athletes who can memorize the order of multiple decks of cards in minutes using the memory palace technique, an ancient method of linking information to imagined spatial locations. These individuals haven't different brains, they've simply harnessed the strange visual spatial bias of human memory. We remember places better than facts, images better than words. And what of childhood amnesia, that mysterious veil that obscures our earliest years? Most adults cannot recall experiences before age 3 to 4, yet these formative experiences shape our personalities in profound ways. We are, in a sense, amnesiacs about our own beginnings. Neurological oddities of memory, the physical basis of memory, adds another layer of strangeness. Consider that sleep, a state of apparent unconsciousness, is essential for memory consolidation. While your conscious mind slumbers, your brain busily transfers information from temporary storage to long-term memory, literally rewiring itself to accommodate new learnings. Deprive someone of REM sleep, and they can still learn new information, but they won't remember it the next day. Your memories aren't formed when you experience something, they're formed when you sleep on it. Traumatic memories follow different neural pathways than ordinary recollections, bypassing the hippocampus and creating memories that are emotionally vivid yet contextually fragmented. This explains the flashbacks experienced in PTSD, raw emotional content without the contextual framework that would safely contain it. And there's the curious phenomenon of state-dependent memory, how information learned in one physiological or psychological state is better recalled in that same state. Students who study while listening to Mozart perform better on tests when Mozart plays in the background. Divers who learn information underwater recall it better underwater than on land. Conclusion: as we emerge from this labyrinth of memory's strange corridors, what are we to make of these bizarre phenomena? Perhaps the most profound insight is that memory, far from being a passive recording device, is an active, creative process that continues to shape and reshape our understanding of ourselves and our world. Memory's quirks and failings aren't flaws in the system. They're features that allow us to adapt, to heal, and to construct meaningful narratives from the chaos of experience. Memory bends to serve the needs of the present, rather than perfectly preserving the past. In the end, perhaps we are not merely the sum of what we remember, but also what we forget, what we misremember, and what we creatively reconstruct. Our memories may be unreliable narrators, but they tell the stories that make us who we are. As you leave this lecture, I invite you to regard your own memories with a new sense of wonder and healthy skepticism. They are not fossilized imprints of the past, but living, breathing entities that continue to evolve with you. The next time you find yourself absolutely certain about a memory, pause and consider, perhaps it's not quite as you remember it. And perhaps that's not entirely a bad thing. Thank you for journeying with me through the mysterious landscape of memory.